was watching a tutorial from Tabitha's Glass Emporium where she did a really cute fused and draped ghost votive. Her kiln is much bigger than mine, so the finished piece was much bigger. I'm going to use a smaller one. And I'm going to start out with this mold. It's a mold that you would use if you were baking, like to make hand pies, those fried pies. And I'm going to use that to start my project. To make the eyes, she used circles cut out of thicker fiber. The woman I bought my kiln from did amazing sculptural work, and she gave me this apart and used this to make the eyes and the mouth. So I put these little pieces so I won't get much glass there of this fiber. And then what she did is she filled the whole thing with Merini and cane. I think I'm going to use scrap and frit to make mine, because that's what I have. The next thing she did to give it a really cool shape was she compressed it. So I'm going to make sure that mine is censored. I'm actually going to take this mold off because I did not line it with papyrus, and I don't mind if the edge gets a little bit thin. So I'm going to lift this straight up. Make sure I've got enough thickness all the way around the edge. And then I'm going to put another piece of paper on it, another kiln shelf on it, and then give it a full fuse to make it one piece and to squash it flat. I think I'll put a few stringers on it for accent as well, give it a little more texture. And I wish I had gray, but I do not. Check my ghost blank to see how it turned out. I see a little bit of a problem. One of the stringers jumped out, although it did not fuse itself to the side of my kiln, which is wonderful. Well, that is kind of cool. I'll have to clean that up and show you what it looks like. And the eye hole and the mouth worked. Well, I didn't put enough frit to mush down, but the little eyes and the mouth turned out. And I'm going to run it through a few slump and see what happens. I'm going to slump it over top of one of my taller kiln posts. I flipped it over because I didn't really like the look of the other side. I think this will work out better. I'm going to do a faster slump this time because with the undersea votive, I didn't want the air bubbles to get distorted. I think these, the little mouth and the eyes, if they got stretched out, I think that would actually be better. Oh, it turned out very cute. The blank wasn't big enough, but I sort of suspected that. And it's still a little bit warm. But the eyes and mouth stretched out nicely. Kind of cute. There are some things I really like about it, and there are some things I don't really like about it. So I'm going to try again. Another thing that Tabitha did when she was doing the tutorial is she flattened it. She put it between two kiln shelves to get everything very flat and smooth. And while it did flatten the layers, it left it with a very matte finish. When I did the undersea, it's shinier, and I like that better. I like that look better. So I'm going to try to recreate this look instead of this look. And now I just need to layer this entire thing with scrap and frit and cane and stringers to make it look like old fabric, or what I think a ghost would look like. I'm going to top all of this with clear powder and then pop it in for full fuse, and I'll let you see it when it comes out of the kiln. Yes, when I'm using powder, I always wear a mask. You do not want to breathe it in. Well, it's all fused into one piece, but it looks thicker than I expected, and it's still a little bit bumpy. You can't see in the front where the fiberfill is, but when you turn it over, you can. So I need to clean this up, pick that out. Oh, look at that. It turned out pretty well. Just clean up those holes a little bit and slump it. So there are days you should work on fused glass and days you shouldn't. I'm going to take this piece, run it through the foot pounder, and refire it. Okay, back to part one. Okay, my ghost blank is ready for a full fuse again. Okay, next day, kiln is cool. Let's see how this reclaimed blank has turned out. Well, it's not a nice, smooth, flat disc. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong, but it looks like the holes for the eyes and mouth worked out. I just need to clear out this one a little more carefully. This eye and the mouth seem good. This one cleaned up a lot better. Next up, slump the height of the kiln post, but I don't like the very squared off head of this ghost. So I think I'm going to take some of that fiber paper, the really thick fiber that I have, and build out more of a dome on top of this before I put the new one into slump. And I think I'm going to use 3 of the smaller kiln posts. It ends up being about the same height, but this would give me a tighter drape, which I think might work better for this project. So this will give it a little bit more of a rounded top instead of that really cubic look. And then I'll drape papyrus over the whole thing. I'm not ready to give up yet, but it's getting close. I don't know if I had a bad power day because I used the more aggressive slumping schedule. Alrighty, it finally looks like I got that slumping schedule right. This one's still too squared off, but that one came out okay. What I thought was going to be a quick, easy project turned into anything but.